not even required. You think knowingness does not know itself?
So then, why does knowingness have to make this individual realize that it is knowingness?
It has not made an individual realize. Who has realized right now? Let's go back to the basic question. Who has realized in you that I am the knower?
The mind or the ego?
Have they realized?
I don't know.
Who is knowing?
Actually, no.
So the knower has found himself.
Okay.
Awareness is aware of itself. Knowingness had forgotten itself and had got lost. And now knowingness went back to itself. It realized, I am the knower. The knower has not got manufactured. It was always there. These 30 years of your life, the knower was there.
Yeah.
It had just got lost in people and situations and things, marriage and whatever, US and this and that and my job and my ideas and my concepts, my hobbies, my spiritual life. It was just so busy that it had no time to look at itself. Who am I really? Now, with Advaita, what are we doing? We're really looking back in. Who am I? Am I really this I thought that comes up and says, I am Amrita? If this I thought was a continuous entity that was constant inside me, then what happens in deep sleep? Where is this I?
Yeah, it does not exist.
It does not exist. That means I is not a continuous entity. That means
so it is only when I'm awake, this I comes up. But when I'm in deep sleep, this I just goes off to sleep as well.
Correct. So I, or that ego that I always identified with, is nothing but a thought. It's just one I thought coming and going, another I thought coming and going. When you are alone at home, when there is no husband, there is no family, no friends, nobody, and you are in a very calm, quiet state of mind, not thinking about husband, family, or anybody, when you're just, say, in your art, when you are painting, doing your thing, there is no sense of I. Have you noticed?
Yeah.
You're just so in the flow. When you're in the flow, that I is missing. It suddenly comes up in retaliation, or literally in a reaction to the other. First there is the sense of the other, and in reaction to the other, the I comes up. And even the thought that I am painting comes up after you realize, wow, what a painting. I painted it.
Yes. Definitely.
So I is just a thought. I is not an entity inside me. Ego is just a thought. Ego is not an entity inside me. This recognition itself weakened the ego. And you started looking, who am I then? Who is this? Oh, there is a knower behind this guy who is saying, I am Amrita, or I am painting. This guy, this knower, in the background was always aware whether the I was talking or whether the I was quiet. So the knower has found himself.
So if the knower has found himself, like now moving forward, like I know that I'm not Amrita, there is this knowingness, but suddenly when I'm doing some activity, I get engrossed in that activity, and that awareness of that knowingness, so called, like which I was like knowing reduces. Like I'm tied up with that activity, and then to come back to that knowingness, I have to make a little effort. Like I can't just
No.
suddenly finish the activity and be in that knowingness.
You are talking about mind's attention. There is a difference between mind paying attention to an activity. The knower is always there. The knower knows that the mind is focusing on this activity.
Okay.
It is just the mind focusing now. Just imagine you're reading a paragraph. So you really focus to understand those words. But there is a knower knowing that the mind is focusing to understand the words.
Oh, okay. Got it. Like, because I'm just comparing it to this experience I had last night. So when I woke up, like I got up from the bed, I went to the toilet, then I came back. So the knower was there, and I knew that this body is moving, doing its action, and it's coming back and lying down. So are you telling me that when the body is in action, the mind knows it is in action?
We are not talking about the mind. We are talking about the knower knows everything.
So okay, now like in this body action, you don't really need the mind. But now, for example, if I'm talking to you, yeah, the knower knows I'm talking to you, but I'm trying to understand. So it's like there's the collectedness of that mind, that focus which is on you, but the knower knows that this focus is all collected and is on you.
Correct. Mind's attention is different from the awareness. Mind's attention is different from knowingness. Knowingness is equal to awareness. Knowingness is equal to consciousness.
And the mind is just a tool. So for all my activities that I do, the mind will always be required to be used as a tool to do the activity with focus and attention, with the knower always there in the background.
The knower is always there.
But I'm just not aware of the knower in the background while doing the activity.
That's because you're so consumed. Till now we were very consumed. We didn't really recognize who we are. We thought that I am the body mind. That is the problem. I was identifying with the body mind, thinking I am the body mind, so I was consumed by the body mind. I am actually the knower, and that knower was always there. It didn't disappear. The knower forgot itself and became consumed with the body mind. But when the knower realizes, oh, I'm not the body mind, I'm the knower, a different opening up happens. Yes, you let that opening happen. And then now whichever activity you do, you just see, am I knowingly aware? That's it.
Yeah. Like that is happening in bits and pieces. But I think I'm getting a little lost. I don't know if I'm just overthinking or what. But
because the mind is thinking.
How is all of this is happening?
The mind is thinking, no? Again, you're getting lost in the mind and the mind story. You're identifying again with the mind. The question is not how this has happened. It doesn't matter. Yeah. The question is, I just recognized I am the knower. Can I just be there? Just be knowingly the knower. Yeah, that does not mean we don't use the mind or we don't use the world and we start thinking thoughts are our enemies. No. They are our tools. When required in this world to do something, I go, I use my tool, the job is done, I come back and I rest in the knowingness. There is no difference between knowingness and the activity of knowingness. The activity of knowingness is seeing right now. You're seeing me. You're hearing me. Is hearing different from knowing? इस पहले hearing हो रहा है फिर knowing हो रहा है कि hearing हुआ नहीं साथ में हुआ है
साथ में हो रहा है
it's the same thing it's just a different label yeah it's just the mind's or the intellect's label given to this function through the ear is called hearing actually it is knowing of hearing knowing of seeing knowing of touching knowing of smelling knowing of tasting knowing of thinking.
Okay. Yeah.
So knowing is not different from thinking. Knowing is not different from seeing. It is the same thing.
So knowing is
Everything.
not different from any activity that I do.
Correct.
It is, but
The
I'm doing it
activity.
with more, with complete awareness all the time.
Taking you to a higher step. The activity is made of the stuff called knowingness. Everything is happening in an ocean of knowingness. Imagine this ocean of knowingness is like a blanket. In the blanket, only objects come up. The mind comes up. This is the thought, or this is seeing, this is hearing. It is the same blanket coming up, playing for a while, and going down. Nothing has changed in the blanket. An object appears in the blanket of knowing this. It looks like an object, it feels like an object. You sense it as an object, but it is not an object, it is just knowingness. It is a single blanket of knowingness. And that knowingness is not different from awareness, is not different from consciousness, is not different from Brahman. So everything is Brahman. Everything is made up of Brahman. Yes, everything arises in Brahman and goes back in Brahman. It is known also by Brahman. Jagat Mithya doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mithya, this is all an illusion. Yeah, the way I perceive it is an illusion. Not that I'm not saying that the table is not real or the computer is not there. Yeah, that is another thing. I'm not saying whether objects are there. I'm not saying that the objects are not there. I'm saying the way I perceive an object, that is incorrect. I think that is matter, that is Prakriti, and this is Purusha. Yeah, there is no separate matter and energy. It is only energy, and energy is itself manifesting as some object. Like it is the same water vapor which has the same H2O. The same water vapor condenses and becomes liquid water. It still has H2O. And that same thing condenses and becomes ice. It is still H2O. So I am taking your attention to the H2O. That everything about water or water vapor or ice is only H2O. The reality is only H2O.
So the reality of everything that so-called I know is only knowingness.
Only knowingness, only awareness, only consciousness, only Brahman.
So there is no point of doing or no point of trying to like ambitions, or I want to do something or I want to achieve something sounds ridiculous and stupid
because it comes from the ego. That ego, which is just a temporary I thought that arises, says something, does its dance for a while and goes away. After some time, some another I thought arises. That is why one day you want to do one painting and become a world class painter, and the next day another I thought comes up and says, no, I don't want to. And this I thought is contradicting this I thought. Why? Because there is no continuity.
That's why we have this low lows and high highs, and then we are beating ourselves up, thinking that I can do better, but I'm not doing better, but I have to reach somewhere because of all this memory nonsense. Oh God.
Jagat Mithya.
I don't know what. So how does so this is what is suffering basically. These two not related I thoughts coming up and showing that I am like related to each other, and then I am getting caught up between these two I thoughts and connecting it to be one, and thinking that I am this also and I'm that also, so I'm good also and I'm bad also, but actually I am nothing. But I'm just making up all this nonsense that I am an artist, I am Amrita, I am a cook, I am a homemaker, I am a volunteer. But these all are just individual things popping up in this knowingness because of this body mind complex. But actually, there is nothing. This is just nothing.
It's like I gave Amrita a role, go on stage and play this role. Amrita went on stage and played the role. Say the role is of Sita. After the whole Ramayana, the whole play is over, she comes down and she refuses to get out of her makeup of Sita, and she says, "No, I am Sita. I am going to continue all my life being Sita." And she's sad and depressed that Ravana took me away, and everybody's coming to her and telling her, "No, please get out of that mindset. You are not Sita." And she's like, "No, I am Sita." You see that? So
Yeah.
that holding on is that ego, the chitta chaya. That is the reflected consciousness, and I holds the ego, the I thought holds on to it and says, "No, this is who I am, this is my identity." And it holds on to this identity, and all its life it makes efforts to make this identity stronger and bigger. And that's why I want to build a big house. I want to leave behind a name. I need a kid who carries on the family name. What is all these things? It is ego trying to build its identity. But every time it keeps crumbling because it's building in sand. Every block, every foundation keeps falling, keeps slipping away because of the sand. And it still continues, still continues. It has a sense of lack. That is why it does that. And why is the sense of lack? Because of the borrowed light of Chitta Chaya. Borrowed है ना, अपना है ही नहीं. It is not mine.
Okay, so I want more.
That's what. Because I want to build this. I don't want this foundation to collapse. And it keeps slipping because it is on sand. It keeps slipping, keeps slipping. And I keep building, keep building, keep building. That is that feeling we have, no? That whatever I do, it never feels good enough.
Complete.
There's no sense of completion. There's no satisfaction. Even if you make $1 million, you will not become satisfied. Then you will say, "I want $1 billion." You will make $1 billion, you will still not be satisfied because of the same reason. Because Chitta Chaya is borrowed light. That ego is just a thought. There is no real entity there. When the knower realizes this, the knower comes back to itself and lets go of all these unnecessary I's that come up and create drama. Now he starts recognizing, just I thought, just an I thought, or my thought. I thought and my thought go together. So it knows drama. This is another drama. This is another drama. This is another opportunity for another following drama. Knower is always established. That does not mean he does not continue. He has to feed this body. We have come here because of our past cause and effect chain. So this body is there. I have to feed it. So he continues doing things in life. But now there is a different shift in the way he sees life. There's a shift in everything. He sees that it is just the consciousness at play. And it's not just in this body-mind complex. It's there, it's there, it's there. The oneness in everyone becomes so apparent. There is no more raga, dvesha. These things start automatically crumbling.
Okay.
This is the path of Advaita, the path of non-duality, where you start seeing the oneness automatically. You start seeing that blanket of consciousness. It's one single, non-dual energy, entity, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, it's like the same, like how I am perceiving myself, I'm perceiving you, and probably you earlier perceived yourself, now you don't. And this knowingness that is in you is the same in me and is the same in Mitesh. And that is why we are all one, but the the body mind complex is different. That's why I think you are different, Mitesh is different, I am different, and there is a sense of separation.